Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamshachanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I salute Lord Krishna, the world teacher, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demons like Kamsa and Chanura, and the supreme bliss of Mother Devaki. We salute him again and again. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. Is it also working? Both?
Yes. Oh, I don't know if both are on.
It is this.
The panel is on right now. Okay.
It's off.
Yeah, that one's off.
So, we are back to our reading of the Bhagavad Gita. We are on chapter 3, verse number 9 we finished, and we start today on page 224, verse number 10. So here, Sri Krishna was in the chapter of Karma Yoga. He was praying that it is much better that from the very beginning of his time, God has made two paths. One is Jnana Yoga, that is for the people who are of analytical mind, and then another who is Karma Yogena Yoginam, those yogis who are performing work by Jagna, particularly the sacrificial fire. And no one can be a yogi without beginning the work itself. So, and when that karma is done with dedication and sacrifice, then it becomes niskama karma, and that leads to the liberation and freedom. And Bhagavan says in the 5th verse, no, in the world no one can stay for a moment without doing any work. And if you don't do, your nature will force you to do something. You don't do what is ordained, what is good, what is spiritually benefited, then you will do something bad. Therefore, karma is, we are all bound by the force of karma to do thinking, simple sitting, thinking, that's also a karma. And there's those people who not performing karma due to idleness and mentally enjoy the things of the world and say, I am niskarma, I am beyond karma. So they are not doing the right decision and they are mithachara, they are actually hypocrites. But those who actually controlling their mind and performs all their duties as a sacrifice to God, as an offering to God, they get their goal reached. Therefore, you, O Arjuna, you get engaged and do your work all the time, because it is much better to do some work action rather than inaction. Inaction is a state of experience. Inaction is a state where your mind is merged into the absolute joy. So there is nobody to work. Body, mind, emotion, ego, they all collapse. That is a state. But before reaching that, we will all have to do karma. But what karma? That karma which releases us from bondage, that karma you should perform. So that was Sri Krishna in this chapters talking about. And last verse we read, the verse number 9 on page 221. It says, Jaggarthat karmano natro lokovayam karma bandhano. You have to do karma. Whether you want to do it or not want to do it, you will do karma, either good karma or bad karma. Better you do some karma which will release you from bondage. And if you do it for jagna, that means sacrificial fire. Then if you offer everything as a sacrifice to God, then that karma will release you from bondage. And any karma you do without sacrificing its results or offering it to God, that is karma bandhanam, that will be a cause of bondage into the world. Therefore, tadartham karma kunte, very good instruction in the last verse. Therefore, you do karma tadartham, for God only, for Him only. Whatever you do it for tadartham, for pleasure of God. I am pleasing God. And mukta sangha, become detached. Do your karma hands up. Good, bad, whatever comes, I have done my best. Let God take care. And offer it and then make yourself free. That's freedom comes. That's a practice of freedom. Actually, doing karma, we get stuck because we immediately think, I did this, oh, I have did a blunder, I would have done this way, oh, I missed it this way. We go on thinking about that and what result is coming. But when one is doing the karma, I did it for God, I applied my effort, the best effort I can do, that's done. Good came, thank God. Bad came, thank God. I am free. So that is the mukta sangha. It's a very, if we think a little bit every day what we do, and really if we take this free from attachment to the next what is coming, result. I did that karma, what is the result? You can think before starting the karma, whether it is good for you or whether it is leading you Godward or to the world of misery. No. So analyze that before starting the karma and then take the right course and do the best and then free. No attachment to the next result, what is coming, what will come. But you can do, then you can do every work and free. Every work. So every work will lead to freedom rather than every work leading to bondage. So muktadartham karma kuntyo mukta sangha. Free mukta means free. Be free from attachment to your clingingness to the expected thing you are expecting that will come. And samachara, then move in the world freely. Doing all work at the same time, total freedom. So that's a great lesson. I think it is the essence of this whole Bhagavad Gita, that do karma, don't be idle, don't think you are beyond action. Some people think that, oh, I am so indrawn and I am so much developed that I don't need to do any karma. No. Sarira Jatra, even your day-to-day existence will not be possible unless you do karma. Breathing is a work. That's an action. Your eating, your sleeping, your interaction, everything is karma. But why not do all karma just dedicated to God, just to please God? Let whatever result comes, I don't care about, I do my best, and then freedom, freedom, freedom. So language of mukta sangha, it's a very beautiful word. Now today we are reading the verse number 10, and that says that when sahajagna praja srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishadhyam Eshavo astu ishta kamadhuk sahajagga praja srishtva purovacha prajapati. Prajapati, the Lord God, the Creator God, Brahma, he said what he said after creating this mankind, and in the beginning he created with the jagna, the sacrifice. Life is sacrifice. Everyone is sacrificing. Whatever we are doing, we are sacrificing for something else. So if we consciously do that I am sacrificing for something else, means not something but for God, then it will be releasing. So to bring that awareness during action, and even God, when He created this universe, that's the Brahma in Hindu mythology, so that creator God or the God who maintains and sustains later on, He has created with this idea, created the human being, created the creatures, mankind, and then added with the idea of sacrifice, sacrificial fire. And then, because we are going back to the ancient time when Krishna is talking to Arjuna, that time the society were different type of activity was not prominent. There, every home there used to Vedic jagna. Every house, that was the major work. If you say good worker or anything, it is performing jagna. And that jagna was performed for two purposes. One, to achieve heaven or achieve anything material development, and another is doing jagna and offering to God, so it is leading to the path of freedom. So this, from the beginning, God created this world with these two things. Mankind, when they created, along with they created this idea of jagna or sacrifice. So we have to go to that background. Few verses they will talk about always jagna. But the modern idea of jagna is that, as I said, that we are doing any karma, we are performing with the idea of sacrifice, with the idea of sacrifice. Sacrifice to whom? We do sacrifice to our ego. We do sacrifice our karma to our pride. We do sacrifice to our karma with wealth, money, prosperity, no? But why not do sacrifice everything mentally to God and have prosperity, have money, have wealth, have everything. Only mental attitude should change, and that will lead you to freedom. That is the Gita's message here. So few verses will be said in that vein, that it is jagna idea is the only thing, and you have to do. Even God created this universe along with that very beginning, this idea of jagna. He himself did that austerity called sa tapyato. When God created, he did this austerity. And with this austerity means sacrifice. Austerity means what? We do austerity. That is, the fasting is called austerity. We do whatever, say your meditation. That's an austerity because you are sacrificing something else. So this is always a question of sacrificing one thing to get something higher. So everything we do should be thought in that line, that it is all jagna. So modern jagna is much easier than the Vedic jagna, and the creation cannot go without work. That is the point. Without this action, actionlessness, though is the ultimate state called the state of Brahman. No? Brahma Jnana state is actionless state. No? Jnanis don't have to do any work because they live in that constant. Yogi, who is in samadhi, is the state, actionless state. Ramakrishna in that ecstatic samadhi, where is any action? Even speaking is an action. Talking and moving is an action. All action stops. The state of inaction is that. So when one is in the state of inaction, that is in a state of perfection. But one little bit down to that, all level of activity, physical activity, mental activity, intellectual activity, emotional activity, and everyone is bound under the rule of that activity level or action level. Therefore, he says, when God created Prajapati, he created the human being as also with this beginning together with the jagna idea. By this shall you propagate. This shall be like the milk cow of your desires. There is a mythical story about it's called Kamadhenu, the mythical milk cow. What is that? That concept is that he says having a woman head, a cow's body, and the bird's wing. So that is the Kamadhenu, and it is in the heaven. That's a concept. There is a such cow, cow-like looking. So the body of a woman's head and the cow body and bird. This is such a special creation of Brahma that you ask anything, you will get everything. Whatever you ask, like a wish-fulfilling tree. So that example is giving. That means this karma you do, and then with that attitude, if you understand, with this idea of karma, sacrificial karma, then you shall eat. This shall be like milk cow, fulfill your desire. So your all desires will be fulfilled ultimately. Meaning, you will reach a state of perfect joy and perfect peace. Now, next verse 11 on page 226. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu va parasparang bhavayanta shreya param avapsyata. Devan bhavayato. You do the jagna, the idea is that you offer it in the name of gods and goddesses. Because people worship different gods. Say you want Indra, you offer we offer in the name of Ramakrishna, no? Ramakrishna Arpanamastu, Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. So someone can do for Shiva, someone can do for Mother Kali, someone can do for Saraswati, someone can do for Mother Lakshmi, Narayana. So there are different facets of God, and they can give you some reward out of that because you are propitiating them. Because of propitiating them, you are asking something, God shall grace us. So you give your offering, and that they receive the love and blessing, love and your sacrifice, and in return they give you your cherished will to be fulfilled. What you want, gods then fulfill your cherished desire. So it will be both sides helpful. Gods and human, it's a link comes between this, that each one is a chain of connection, so that each one helping each other to survive in life. Because in early days there was no concept other than God's idea, different gods and goddesses, and you propitiate them, they will give you your cherished desires fulfilled. So it will happen by the process of jagna. Because even in our jagna we offer Indave namaha, Asvavatare-bho namaha, these, all the gods, all the incarnations, all these, to propitiate them. But we have no other desire, we only say give us bhakti, devotion, that's our resolution. But some do resolution otherwise. Everyone does resolution. This sankalpa is very important. Why are you performing this ceremony? No, I want to perform to achieve this goal. And that's the way we do all oblation, and that's why it is said that what is your desire, you will get result accordingly. Indra, Shatru, Britra. Britra was the god of the demons, and Indra was the god of gods. So once Britra thought that my enemy Indra, he should be killed. So he started doing one jagna. And the jagna, the mantra, sankalpa was done that my enemy Indra should be just killed. As soon as I end this jagna, he will be dead. But what he did, when they performed the jagna, he, instead of saying, my enemy Indra should be killed, that was the mantra. Indra Shatru has two connotations. Who is Shatru to Indra, an enemy to Indra, that means he himself, and my enemy Indra, that means Indra the god, no? But his pronunciation was certain wrong. The Sanskrit, he said, he who is enemy to Indra, let his head go away. So actually when all the oblation was offering, and the last offering was done, and his own head went out. Means he is killed. Meaning that you can propitiate the gods and goddesses and get your desired result. But be careful what you are asking for, and if you are not doing it properly. That's why ritualistic worship with the desire to fulfill is very critical there. We bhakti, we do some mistakes in our puja, it matters little, because we say, oh ma, I did it for you, please forgive me my lapses. No, we pray every time at the end of the puja, but that mother will say, okay, they don't know, they are lovingly doing, no. But you are asking for specific goal to achieve, that everything should be meticulously done. And he did not do that meticulous, his all offering words went wrongly, and then he himself was gone. But the result came. So that is the point. So this will be the interaction between the giver and the receiver. Receiver is the human being who wants, I want this, I want this, I want this. Okay, you want this, okay, do jagna. Okay, you do jagna. And who will propitiate? Some Hindus have the idea that every item is controlled by one department. God's department is divided in the finger is this department, is hands department is Indra, no? That story, that Thakur told that story about Indra, that cow, and then hit the cow, and the cow died, and the sin came to the Brahmin, and then when the god of death came and to take, he said, I didn't do. Well, why? Well, who did? My hand did. Well, but if your hand did, a hand is controlled by Indra. So go to Indra. So the poor guy could not catch him. So he went to Indra. And Indra said, oh my God, is it? Okay. And then he came back. So the hand did, that idea is that there is a corresponding deity of each organ. So everything is connected with the deities. Another scientific explanation is there. Deva means the senses, the sense organs, which illumines our experiences, no? I see because of the eyes, I hear because of the ear, no? So they are also devata, gods. In Sanskrit word dip dhatu, dip means the devata, the gods, actually Indra, Chandra, Varun, those all, and also the human body and this all the specific organs, they are devata. So you eat food, when you give food to them, no? Offer it to them, they get nurtured. So they nurture you, you nurture them. So it's a constant link. Two ways this word, this verse can be looked upon. Therefore, cherish the devas, gods, with this, and may those devas cherish you. Thus, cherishing one another, you shall reap the supreme good. Ishtan, next verse, 12. Ishtan bhogan hivo deva dasyante jaggabhavitaha tvaidatyan pradayibho jo bhungte stena evasa. So cherished by this type of jagnas, the devas will bestow upon us whatever you are asking for, whatever you desire, they are bestowing that boon. A thief verily is he who enjoys what is given to them without returning them anything. So you should have to, if you don't give it to them their share, then you are stealing their share. That is a thief. Thief only steals. So it is to be given to them, and if you don't give it to the gods and keep it for your joy, then you are stealing the thing which should not be your possession. It should go to the gods, and you are not offering to them, and they are holding on. So, therefore, what we have to do then? We have to then, what shall we get it after doing so much austerity, performing action, and we will be just surviving? How shall we survive? No, you eat as a prasad. When you offer everything to God, you give it to God. But ultimately, sacrificing that, you take the remnant, thinking that you are taking prasad. So, 13 verses. Jagga shishta shinas santo mucchante sarvakil vishayi mucchante tu agang papa ye pachanti atmakaranat. So those who eat, we prepare our meal and we eat. That's called eating. But he says, the good who eat the remains of the jagna. See, that's why we do. After performing the jagna, they offer so much to God, and the rest, it comes as a prasad for us. So, jagga shishto, avashishto, after performing the jagna or offering what remains, you have to enjoy that as a prasad. So, the good, who is that is called good, who is good, doing good, now who eat the remains of jagna, they eat they are good, because that will free them from all sins. That's why it's called the food we offer to God, then it becomes purified food. No. When we offer food, for Thakur saw that the eyes of the deity, the rays of light, Ma Kali's rays coming and touching all the food items, and then withdrawn. That means the glancing of the deities, which happen in subtle way. We don't see whether really God is accepting or not. But Ramakrishna said that he saw Mother Kali, whatever food he is offering, Mother Kali is eating. How? Not like the material part, but the devotional part. So she touched, Mother touched by the rays of light, the drishtva, but only seeing only. Gods, and that's why Chandogya said, Deva, gods, na snanti, na pivanti. They don't eat like us or drink like us. But drishtva, by only seeing, but beholding, trippanti, they get satisfied. That's why whenever we give anything with devotion, with love, God accepts that love. And because He accepts and puts a glance on the food, that by his or her, whatever the deity, but the touch of the glance purifies the whole food. Therefore the food becomes pure. And what food brings? Upanishad says, Sattva Suddhau, Buddha Ahara Suddhau, Sattva Suddhi. Ahara means food, becomes Suddha, means pure. And pure food creates your pure buddhi, pure understanding. When its pure intake is done, then the whole nervous system, whole body system, it becomes purified. So, Suddha Buddhi, Ahara Suddha, Buddhi Suddhi. And when your buddhi will be Shuddha, Dhruva Smriti, your understanding will be firm. God is real, the world is changing. All this conception will be imposed. That's why so much emphasis we try to think every time Brahmarpanam mantra, etc., to remind that it's pure, pure, pure. Everything is divine. So, minus the other aspect of material aspect only. But food is a material aspect. But give up the material aspect, think of the spiritual aspect of it, and then offer it to God, and then it gets purified. And purified food will really freed from all sins, because all negativities will go away. And as a result, but the sinful ones who cook food only for themselves, they verily eat sin. That means those who don't offer it to God and eat. So they are eating the food itself, and that food has its own impact, good or bad. So actually it is sin, because you have to give it to God first. So you are stealing from God's account. No. So last verse he said that you are stealing. The stealing in the sense it should be offered to God first, and then you take, so that it creates your mind, pure intellect, pure understanding. And you don't do that, you are incurring sin, because you are with lustfully eating, gratifying on the tongue. So that will have its own impact only. That will make more desire to eat this and that and that and that. But when we offer to God, we think it is prasad. Prasad has a different feeling. So that's the inspiration they are giving. You eat food, but offer it to God. Now 14th verse on page 233. Annad bhavanti bhutani prajannat anna sambhava jagyad bhavati parjanna jagna karma samudbhavaha. Now how this sacrificial fire has any connection? What is the link? This verse is giving the link. It says from the food we are all product of the food. Food has produced the body, and the rain is produced by food. Food is produced by rain. Raindrop comes, no? And raindrops creates all these vegetables and eatable things, no? So, and from rain proceeds the jagna. You do perform the jagna, what happens? Now today we rarely do jagna in our center, maybe 4 times, 5 times. But in time think that every house they are performing these jagnas. Every house, every day 24 hours the fire is burning, no? So what happens? It creates, the rain is created by the huge flame and fire, no? Fire brings the rain down. So jagna brings the rain. Rain is coming, carrying the seed to the plants, and then the food is created by that. A cycle chain is created. So from food beings become, we are born, and from rain is food produced, and from jagna rain proceeds. Therefore, jagna is born of karma. So, this whole cycle is due to karma. You perform some jagna, the flame, fume or heat is generated, that goes, it brings back the rain down, and the rain comes down to produce the food, and food creates our sustenance, and from that every child is born because of mom and dad. They take that food and that produces their. So it is he's creating this cycle. Everything is created in the cycle, and therefore jagna karma. Therefore it is started from the karma. If you don't perform jagna, there will be no rain, and there will be no rain. There will be no vegetables or greens to produce, and no greens or vegetables to produce. No creation will continue, not be there. Therefore, this conclusion on 15 verse says, know that karma is the cause of the Vedic wisdom. Why? Karma brahma udbhavam viddhi, 15 verse, 234 page. Karma brahma udbhavam viddhi brahmakshara samudbhavam tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam jagne pratishthitam. So, therefore, now the karma means not the modern days karma, as I said, jagna karma, that means the sacrificial fire. As the home of fire, we do the home of fire. Let us make it easy. The home of fire we do. Similarly, that type of karma was the prevalent time in the Vedic time. That was the time when Krishna is speaking. The society, Indian society, was full of jagna. That's why Buddha came. People are jagna, then sacrifice to the jagna. It is all activity level. It goes down, and sometimes it becomes pure. So when no karma to have reason from Veda. Veda means what? Veda has 2 wings. One is karma kanda, one is jnana kanda. One is the ritualistic section, another is the Vedanta section. Vedas, that's why Vedanta. Vedanta is the later part of the Vedas, that is talking about not karma, but first part is karma. So here Bhagavan is inspiring us to do karma, and going to the karma become purified, then you become fit for jnana, the knowledge, and then you know that karma cannot lead to absolute freedom, only renouncing all karma and thinking of the very basic principle of our life, of who we are, then freedom comes, then Brahma Jnana comes. So, no, karma brahmadbhavam, this action, this ritualistic action, all have come from Vedas. Why? Section of the Veda, first part of the Veda, karma kanda, and from that instructions are coming. And Vedas are what? It is the expression of God's expression. So the whole society runs to that karma. So it is said, no karma to have a reason from Veda, and the Vedas from the imperishable. Vedas coming from what? All this karma, absolute nirguna, to coming to the action. So Vedanta, one step down, is karma, jagna karma, and that jagna karma is the day-to-day living we should have to live. Therefore, in your jagna also, Vedic wisdom is injected into it. Because the all-pervading Veda is therefore ever centered in all the jagnas. All the jagna means all the Vedic rituals. Dictation of the Vedas is inherent there. It is not man-made policies, but these are all divine principles. And it is to help humanity to go from one stage to the other stage. Karma, sakama karma, to giving away the fruits of action, niskama karma. Niskama karma, mind becomes pure and selfless, and taking that leading to the state of knowledge and wisdom, Vedanta. Evam pravartitam chakram, 16th verse. Evam pravartitam chakram nanuvartaye jahija aghayur indriya ramo mugang partha sajivati. He who does not follow on earth this wheel thus revolving, sinful of life and rejoicing in the senses, he lives in vain. So, on not understanding in this world, people are only doing karma whole day. They are not making themselves free from bondage. Rather, they are in sin in Vedanta. What is sin? In Vedanta, sin is ignorance. No? That means the people live in ignorance unless they know this science of getting out of the bondage of life's sufferings. Because they are doing karma, but that karma is binding to attachment, to anger, to frustration, to loss, to suffering. No? But this can be changed if it is offered to God, and freeing ourselves from this attachment, then it leads gradually to our eternal self, which is unchanging, which is free from all troubles and sufferings. So it says, he who does not follow on earth the wheel thus revolving, the karma, jagna, creating karma phala, result, offering that result to God, niskama karma leading to the purification of the mind, and then that circle ends, taking us to the total freedom who we are. The new niskama or actionless state that he was talking about, the goal of life, to reach that state of samadhi, what we call, that state will be achieved. Therefore, if they don't do that, their life is in vain. That means, getting this opportunity, they could have made themselves free, but not knowing, not practicing this, their life is get wasted. But in Hinduism there is no waste. We can have another chance. And if that chance is gone, another chance. So, but that is the point. This we are talking about the karma. Therefore, we have to focus on how to get out of the bondage. The whole study of this scripture is to focus on how we can get out of this entanglement of life in which we are born slaves of the situations, born slaves of this body, mind, emotion, etc. So how to do? Don't stop your karma. So far so, as we get the message, don't stop your karma, but do every karma and don't give the result to the gods and goddesses. If you feel, if you are not that much advanced to think God is only one, you think the God is many, okay, do offer all this gift to the gods, their account, in their account. What they are to get, give it to the gods. And what you are to keep, prasad. Offer every karma, let this mentally, say, oh Lord, I did it for you, and make yourself free. Don't entangle into the result. People praise you, don't get elated. People blame you, don't get suppressed or depressed. No? Free. Why shall I be affected by them? I have done for God. I have done this purpose. So every day doing this itself, this renunciation itself gives the power and freedom to an individual soul. And that's a great lesson to learn. If we don't learn, then we incur sin. Incur sin means there is no sin in Vedanta. We live in ignorance. And ignorance creates all types of fear, anxieties, worries, tension, pressure high, cholesterol, diabetes. All these come one after another. So we become a bond slave of these circumstances. Now, is there nobody who is exception to this field of action? The action of this lifelong rotating into the cycle of birth and death and ignorance? No, is there? Well, yes, there are those who have done this. So what is that? Jastu atma rati revo. I am on page 237 and verse number 17. Yastu atma ratir eva sat atma triptascha manava atmanneva cha santushta tasya karjam na vidyate. Tasya karjam, his activity, his action, there is no action for that person. Only one person who can live in the world without action. Who is that? Jah, that person, Atma Rutirevo. He finds his pleasure in meditating on his own self. Just to Atma Rutirevo. And then not only that, he tries to meditate on the self, who am I, or in his own real nature, divine nature. And so tripta, thinking there, he feels satisfied. Yes, I am peaceful in my own self. It is all eternal, it is blissful, it is ocean of joy. I don't need anything. So the coming back, because he has purified the mind by seeing all the action and the corresponding result which it can give, and he have given up those results to God or all the for whom they worked. When that is done, then what happens? Mind will come back here. One story is there, Swami Bhuteshananda Maharaj was doing austerities in the Rishikesh one time. And he then it is long past, then he became the president. So his attendant, who used to look after him, there are a few of them, but one of them, one day he was after serving and Maharaj in a different mood, and he said that, Maharaj, you have done so much austerities in the Himalayas, huh? Have you seen God? Then he said that he didn't respond, he was silent for some time, and then he said, that I cannot say, but what I can tell you this much, that I was one day meditating and I let the mind go wherever it runs, not to control the mind, hey, come to meditate, no, allowed the mind to go anywhere. But I saw at that experience that it went to the place it should have gone there only. But in a negative way he said that it is whatever experience, it is the experience of the Atman. It went to nowhere else but that Atman. So that's the point. Just to those people, Atma Roti. Roti means attraction, attachment, clingingness, love, intense love, passionate love. That is the Roti means. And Sanskrit words are so appropriate and apt that it can not be used in without adjectives in the English. So that passionate love, that intense love, as if Ja to Atma, in the Atman, it went to our real nature, real self, real ground of our very existence. And going there, such a pull, and he finds full satisfaction, because he has done everything for God. All the jagna he has performed every day, and that mind has been created in such a way, mind purified, and mind all direction, it goes to the one point. And that one is the Atman, the self. When it goes like that, Sat Atma Triptascha, and going there, you don't feel like, oh, I'll have to think of something, I'll have to go somewhere to grab something, I'll have to get something for my immediate sense pleasure or anything. I don't need anything. And Tripta means fully satisfied in that Atman. Then Atmani evachu santushto, and is so satisfied, so peacefully identified there that he does not crave for anything. That person has conquered all this level of karma. Karjang na vidyate, for him the karja, the action, is not for him. He will, with that story, what is the duty of a guru and a disciple? Guru will sit and only give advice. And disciple, disciple, you will have to go to the forest to collect the wood, firewood, then come back, and then you have to put the chapatis, handmade chapatis, roll them and burn them, and then make the vegetables and this and that, and then clean the dishes and do. Then the student says, "Pehle humko guru bana lijiye." Then, sir, please make me first guru first. So, to be guru is easy, but guru state, he does not do anything because he has achieved the goal. that type of guru, don't think everyone is like that. But the point when you reach that level of consciousness, so he does not need anything. Like that story, the Alexander went and then saw the sadhu bathing himself in the sun bath, and he asked him to come to his palace, and he scolded him, "Get out of my way, you are disturbing me. I am having sun bath." Sun bath is much better than going to palace and have fun of the palace pleasures. And then he said, "I shall kill you." And then what he said? "You will kill me? I am so satisfied, I don't need your palace. I don't need anywhere to go. I am in the high Himalayas, I have no much food, no much clothing, nothing, but I am so satisfied, I don't care for anything." That is the person who is actionless. So this verse says that all people will have to work until you reach that point of actionlessness. What is that state of actionlessness? You will be so much drawn to God, or in other words, better one. Oh, that guy probably.
You have a cell phone? No. Yeah.
So it says that that person who is fully satisfied within one's own self, and he is tripto, satisfied, the man who rejoices in the self, who is satisfied within the self, and is centered in the self, for him verily there is no obligatory duty. There is no obligatory duty. So that means what happens for them? They are called Jivan Muktas, the people who have realized God and they live in the world. We see them moving, walking, eating, but they don't do any karma because all the vasana, the desire, has been burnt away by sacrificing their karma, every action, purified. They have reached a state where they are free souls. So Prakriti or nature is constituted of karma. This whole Prakriti, this nature, is constituted of karma. But there is no karma whatsoever in the Atman. Actionlessness and Atman are one and the same. Mind is in fact a phase of Prakriti. Our mind is also a part of the Prakriti. I am reading on page 237. So this whole world is under the level of action. Mind is also action. Mind thinks, thinking this thought, that thought, that thought. It's activity, mental activity, we call mental activity. Karma is therefore going on constantly in it, but there is a speciality in functioning of the mind. When it impinges on the external world with the aid of the senses, or even without their aid, its activities are on the increase. But when it revolves back on the self or the Atman, its activities automatically diminishes. Actually, when you go out minus God and work, one work to another work to another work, endless work, chain of work. But when it goes back to thinking of God, his activity level reduces. In a physical world, they become dysfunctional. Ramakrishna, example, he was given to do the puja, worship. And after that, performing the puja, when it becomes more involved into that meditation and absorption, ultimately he lost himself and that all external activity stopped. He was unable to perform any worship. Okay? So therefore, all beings are tending towards this goal, consciously or unconsciously. To the mind merged in Atman, there is no duty. Okay? So, sum and substance is this. Karma, everyone will have to perform. We are bound to do. And doing karma, we get into bondage. But if we do offer our every effort and its results to God, then we become free from the entanglement of its consequences. And our freedom then comes, and this freedom increases day by day. Then we become actionless. More, we do work, body will work, Gyanis do work, but they don't feel they are working. They get detached from that. And that the cause of our rebirth is this change is going on, birth and death comes because of our desire. Desire leads to another karma creates another desire. So this chain is broken, and this all the desire and its result part is gone. Naturally desire part lessens. If I want action to bring this result, and result part gone, so action becomes action only as a duty, and then duty also drops, only love comes, and then mind becomes pure and one becomes free from all entanglement. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.